Hello, Jim and James. I hope you're having a great weekend. There's two pieces of research that I was going to do for you before we met, and I'm going to basically create two videos for you to see them. One has to do with SSO with Microsoft Exchange on premises. And what I did here in my lab environment, I actually installed Microsoft Exchange. And what I'm going to do is quickly set up a new user, because if I test with an old user, it's not a good test, because you may still think that the keychain has been overloaded. So I'm creating a user called Jim Demo right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and give it a password. And at the same time, I have the exchange management right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and create a mailbox for that user. So let's go ahead and do a new mailbox, existing users, add, do Jim, and there you go. There's Jim Demo right there, and I'm gonna go ahead and basically pick the defaults, right? So what that's gonna do is gonna create a mailbox for the user. Nonetheless, I want to make sure that mail flow is working, and so I'm gonna go ahead and do HTTPS and do EX, and I want to open my Exchange OWA and make sure that this user has a mailbox and everything is working the way it's supposed to be working, right? So notice that I'm able to to pretty much log in through Outlook web app, and if I even want to send an email, let's see, that's just some shameless plug right here, and there you go. So it actually works. So the test is actually to go in the Mac. So I have this Mac 109 right here, is running Mac 10.9, and I'm gonna do log in for the first time as this user. So it's gonna be Jim Demo. So as it logs in, there's a couple of things I need to do. So I have the Office 365 version of Outlook for Mac. What that means is that I need to activate Outlook before I get to use it. So this test is going to help you see a few things. So today you guys have Exchange on premise, I presume, but you may be looking to move to Exchange on the cloud, maybe Office 365. And during the activation, you will see how ready will you be by not only using our Mac agent on premises, but also using our Centrify Identity Service. So I'm logging in. The end user got a few things signed in. So the first thing I need to do I'm going to open Outlook. And I'm also going to open a terminal. It's been a while since I do Exchange administration, but Exchange has changed a lot since 2010. So a lot of the way Exchange communicates, it used to be via remote procedure calls. Now it's via HTTP, believe it or not. So I'm going to just type the klist command here to make sure. Okay, we have some Kerberos tickets here, but I'm going to go ahead and sign into Office 365, but in this case, it's just to activate this copy of Outlook. So I'm going to do it with my Centrify account. Otherwise, what's going to happen is that I won't be able to connect to the mailbox because my copy of Outlook is not kosher. So notice that it's taking me to my IDP, which is Centrify, of course. And notice that it is a client that it doesn't know. Therefore, by default, it's going to ask for two-factor authentication. I'm going to get the thing on my mobile authenticator, and you guys have seen this before. So I'm just going to go here, press my button in my phone, and that's going to send the code. And that should make sure that, hey, Robertson has an Office 365 account, and he's entitled to this software. That's pretty much it. It's kind of unrelated to what you were doing, but notice that if you were to go to Office 365, the question would be, would Centrify be able to help you? And I think that this particular test here will show you that it will. So it's not about only getting the solution for the problem today, but the solution for the problem tomorrow. Okay, so now let's go back to our user. So the user will basically add an account. In this case, it's an Exchange or Office 365 account, right? So in here, I'm gonna set up the the email address is jim.demo@corpcontoso.com. So I'm gonna do Kerberos, and notice that I already have my Kerberos ID here. In here, I am not gonna say configure automatically because in my demo environment I have not set up auto discover. This is something that I noticed that you didn't check, and I suspect that in your environment auto discover needs to be set up. And the reason why that's gonna make your life easier, so people don't have to call the help desk to set up their Outlook profiles. So I'm gonna go ahead and press add account, and notice that it's already set up. And if I go back here, notice that I already got the my email. So what do we got in there? I did not have to type my password. And if I look at the K list here, notice that now I have an HTTP ticket, and that's because basically I got a service ticket from Exchange server. So that is basically SSO right there. This scenario may or may not be the best for all your users, because as long as you're on premise and you sign in with a Centrify agent, you're gonna have Kerberos and you're gonna be fine. However, if a person takes their Mac away at home, they're gonna be challenged and they're gonna be prompted to put their username and password, and they may actually put it on their keychain. Another bonus for you could be, and this is a byproduct of using Centrify. If I show you right here the keychain, one of the GPOs that I have in my domain is actually to issue each user their own certificate. So users are able to get their own personal certificate based on just joining the domain with Auto-Enroll. So one thing that I could do is run the AD-GP update command with a target user. And what that's going to happen is it's going to refresh any items that have to do with the user. Because Jim is a new person, notice that he got a certificate. And this certificate can be used because it has the user's principal name. I didn't put it for the purposes of email, but think about this. If I wanted to set up the account in a different way, let's say I actually go ahead and remove this profile, and I want to add again, and same thing, Jim demo at corpcontoso.com. I can also pick client certificate authentication, and I can pick any of the certificates that the user got, and that's because our agent is able to understand the enrollment policy in Active Directory. So this is more power for you, and this is great in examples when you have Active Sync and those things are being deployed to mobile devices as well. So I hope that this video showed that A, you could do Kerberos, that B, we're compatible with Office 365 if you ever go and use CIS as well, and that you have the ability to use certificates as well. And I hope you, I'm going to talk to you next about what your Ruby application needs to have in order to get SSO. Okay?